So I found out you guys wanted to talk to me together as a team.
Yes.
And so who do we have here? Who's our team?
Louis.
And Brianna.
There you go. Louis and Brianna. Are they not the cutest? They're a couple. And they met actually 9 years ago today. So we've got a lot to celebrate, right? So who said hello to who first? Like, did you wink at each other? I want to know that love story.
Louis was...
No, I saw her.
Okay.
I could still see it in my mind, her walking into the bar. And I didn't know that she actually was with my brother's girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
And I said, I have to go and talk to her.
Wow.
And I saw her, and I watched her sit at the bar, and I walked up to her, and I charmed her, obviously.
He complimented my necklace. That was the first thing, and then I was
it.
swooned. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just...
That was it.
Yeah, talk about love at first sight. And that's how I kind of felt when I walked into your studio, because it was like love at first sight. It's beautiful, but it has so much rich depth and meaning here, right? It's a magical place. So, Louis, let's talk about your childhood. What does this building mean to you?
Well, my grandfather owned this building for 45 years, so I was in and out of here when I was a little kid. And I really connected with my grandfather after I dropped out of college, and I came here, and he wanted to help me figure out what to do with my life. And he pushed me to go into art, which is how I ended up in art school. And after he passed away, unfortunately, this building was sold, but I couldn't let it go. So I wanted to stay here. I turned this into my studio. And I kept all of his woodworking equipment. I kept all of his photography equipment.
You were here.
Yeah. And I was
And you were here.
Yeah.
So, and in this building is where you decided a few years ago to start this gorgeous business that you have together. So you preserved, I think it was, the first thing you did was you were trying to save a bouquet when you were like around 15, or your pressed flower that your grandmother said, oh, but just press it in a book.
Yeah.
And then you preserved your own bouquet. And then what happened? Somebody asked you to do theirs.
Yeah, well, I always had, this obsession for pressing flowers once I learned how. And my family, everybody was getting married, and my cousin had asked me to preserve her bouquet and turn it into something beautiful that they could have. And I said yes, and word spread, and everybody wanted me to press their bouquets. And that's kind of how this exploded. And it just grew into this business that we get to, do together. And we just love it. Yeah.
I think that your business kind of says a lot about who you are as people too, which is why I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about your backstory. It's because what you do for a living is really preserving the sentimental moments, those magical moments, right, that might be fleeting, right? But yet they have the essence of the beauty of that moment that you've preserved. So people come to you with wedding bouquets, but also funeral mementos and things like that. You have a long list of people that you've helped, right? And to make a memory for them.
Right, the most beautiful memories. And there's no sentimental moment that's too small, from a first birthday to your wedding bouquet to the last flowers at a goodbye. Like, they're all so sentimental to the families that we're creating these heirlooms for. And we find that in every single one of them, and it's so special that we're trusted with these flowers, and we make the most beautiful things out of them.
You certainly do. Your work is extraordinary, and with your art background, with your crafty art background, but you also have a team now. It's grown tremendously. So from the moment that somebody can bring their bouquet up the steps, right? Like, they could mail it in, but a lot of times people in this whole tri-state area, they just drive their flowers to you, right? And then let's walk through the process. Like, it was like a little tour, because we are going to take a tour. So,
Donna,
okay.
if you were bringing us this bouquet,
Yes.
we can walk you kind of through what you can expect if these were your flowers.
Really? Oh, that's fresh flowers?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so beautiful. All right, let's go. the idea of wanting to have something like this happen for you, just make it so. Give them a call. You know, they will work with you and somehow figure out a way, even if you're like across the country, you know, overnight those flowers and let's make it happen. Thanks for watching. Very excited about this segment. I've been thinking about it, dreaming about it, literally. With us is Nancy, and we're going to be learning all about restful nights. Hi.
Hi, Donna. Thank you so much for having us today.
This is incredible.
I know. Doesn't it feel so lush and plush and cloud-like?
Yes. From the moment that I found out that you were going to be here, I went all out and I said, you know what? We need to like not just do this on a regular set. We needed to just like have a wonderful space that we could talk about luxury bedding.
Well, bedding is so important to a good night's sleep, and that's what our brand is founded on. We are 150 years old, really have a strong heritage in down and feather, so natural fills, and that's what's making up this lovely bed that you're sitting on today.
It's so nice. I envisioned it, but I didn't realize it was going to be this nice. Nancy, it's actually high quality luxury, and I feel like I'm in a high-end hotel.
You are.
Okay.
You really are. Because one of the things that we can say about our products, there are a lot of products out there that claim hotel or hotel style, hotel brand. Our products can be found in over 2.5 million hotels worldwide.
Oh my goodness.
So we can really, truly, you're sitting up against pillows that are found in 5-star hotels.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can have this luxury in your home now.
You can through
Okay.
the Restful Nights website. It
Great.
is available to everyone.
So explain to me what we have here. What is this sleep system all about?
So getting a good night's sleep is really personal.
Okay.
It's about crafting kind of the pieces that work for you. I brought along a couple of my favorite pieces. One of them is our Tria Chamberloft pillow, or our Tria Chamberloft pillow. Inside are 3 down chambers, or excuse me, 3 feather chambers, and those are supportive feathers wrapped in a plush down cloud so that you get adjustable comfort. As I'm kind of feeling this, I'll let you kind of touch on it too.
Okay.
It's adjustable. That's why people love down.
that is
but
nice.
It's supportive as well. And so the shell is, all of our covers are either organic BCI or just a really great cotton, woven for allergen barrier or barrier against the feathers and down, and then finished with kind of premium stitching or baffle boxing so that everything stays where you want it to stay.
I actually noticed that too.
Yeah.
I
It's a great
noticed
little
like the
detail.
quality of the way that it's actually physically
Yeah.
made, and after 150 years, obviously they know what they're doing.
We do,
Right?
and so we import a lot of our shells from overseas, but then we fill and finish domestically in the U.S. So that's also a really nice thing that we're very proud of, that we are manufacturers in the U.S. as well.
And I like the feeling of it. It's like
Well,
everything's so nice.
The cotton is crisp and cool. So you
Okay.
have the Tria Chamberlock is here. Down around. It's one of our best-selling pillows on the site today. This is a firmer pillow, so you can kind of see it has a loftier feel, and then when you press down on it, it is very supportive.
It's hard to pick which one. So
It
you might
is.
as well
It's
just
very.
get 3,
It's
right?
personal preference.
Okay.
We know in talking to women and consumers that shopping for bedding is very tactile experience. So consumers, they want to touch and feel. They want to get into the package. They want to touch the pillow, squeeze it, and hug it. So it is about preference and what you need to support your body. You really do want to relieve pressure. You were talking to me earlier about the pillows that you're sleeping on.
Yes.
And it is about like, how can you take multiple pillows? I mean, I sleep with 3 pillows to craft that kind of feeling that gives you that support and comfort and pressure release so that you can sleep all night.
I'm thinking I want to put my head on one of them and like hug the other.
You could do that.
Okay, because sometimes I'm a side sleeper.
Well, that's what's so nice about down and feather is that it is naturally adjustable. I mean, it's like nature's original fill.
Besides the pillows, what is this piece and what is this piece?
Oh, yes. So you are sitting on our feather topper. It is a feather bed topper that is baffle box construction. It really does deliver great supported weightless sleep. It can be found in premium hotel rooms. So if you've ever slept in a hotel and loved that kind of enveloping, yummy, cloud-like supportive sleep, that is our feather topper.
It's not the robe that I want to take home with me. It's always the feather topper.
Oh, and it won't fit in your suitcase.
Exactly. And tell me about this. This
Yes.
is interesting, and I like the way that it's designed.
So this is our all seasons comforter. It is a really nice baffle box construction, 233 thread count cotton, allergen barrier weave. So what that means is that the feathers or down, whatever's inside, is not going to come through. It also has a baffle box construction. The square construction is very standard in luxury bedding, and the baffle box construction means that it will not. The feathers and down have enough room to move about, but they're not going to migrate. So it helps sustain loft, which is what you want on
fluffy,
your comforter.
fluffy.
You don't want a flat comforter. Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that.
And it also helps the feathers and the fill stay in place.
Okay.
Really nicely.
So when somebody goes to your website, we know that these are heirloom quality pieces, right? So can they start with maybe just the pillow and then add something for their birthday, maybe for the holiday season?
You can.
Okay.
It's, again, like we talked about earlier, it is finding and building your sleep system is customizable. I would say start with a pillow. A feather bed or a topper is a bit of an investment, but it really is and can be a game changer, especially if I like to work out, and so I've got a sore muscle or something, and getting into bed at night with a feather topper is absolute luxury. So you can mix and match and build things that work for you, because again, it's personal. You're going to want to try it. You're going to want to see, okay, do I like this pillow? Do I like this sleep experience? And you may mix and match it, like you were telling me earlier, with a foam pillow, with something else.
Okay.
So it is not one size fits all.
Understood. I'm excited. I might sleep in my studio tonight. I've never stayed over, Nancy, but this is so nice. This is truly super nice. So it's Restful Nights.
Restful Nights.
And they've been in business for over 150 years.
Indeed.
And it's all filled here. In the United States.
In the United States, yes.
And it's high quality. This is like lovely.
It is.
I want to have like a pillow fight. You ready? Go for it.
Don't tempt me.
Don't tempt her. Literally, we are having so much fun. We hope you enjoyed this segment. You know, I do travel. I travel a lot, and I do work really hard, just like you do. If you are ready in your life to make an investment in yourself and your sleep, please go to their website, check it out, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Restful Nights. Joining us now is Cynthia. She has a very interesting career. She is Cynthia's Atelier. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm well.
Great. You are part of our wedding special, spectacular.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
What got you involved in this industry?
So what got me involved in this industry is that I've always had a passion for sewing, and although I did go to fashion school, I primarily was a stay-at-home mom until I was faced with having to work after my marriage was ending. And then during COVID, my kids and I made probably thousands of masks, which we donated and then started selling. And then I sort of took a leap into becoming a seamstress to keep afloat, and it took off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now you do a lot, not just machine, but I saw you doing like a lot of like hand details. Tell us about that journey for you.
Yeah, so we do pretty much anything that someone asks for, primarily alterations, but if someone brings in something that has special fit requests, whether they have body fit issues or they want to bring in an old dress and we redesign it, whether it's by machine or by hand, we get it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who taught you how to sew?
So everyone asks me that question. I did go to fashion school. I went to FIT, and I'm also self-taught. So it was kind of a journey of just kind of figuring things out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to make my school clothes with my grandmother.
Yeah.
So we had a Singer sewing machine.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a sewing machine in the building. It just needs to be really dusted off.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was such a great skill to have, that a lot of times people don't know how to do that. I've made curtains for my house.
Yeah.
You know, sewing's fun.
It is fun. It takes a lot of focus and dedication, but it is an amazing skill to have, and I really wish that a lot more people would learn it.
A lot of times people are spending money on a beautiful gown, right? And it doesn't fit them even after the alterations. So you're doing like a final overview for them.
Yeah, a bride will bring in their wedding dress, and sometimes they think it fits perfectly, and they think they need just a hem, and it's never the case. When a bride brings in their dress, or any client I have, because we work with not just brides, but a variety of clients, my goal is to consult with them and make sure that their fit is perfect, from shapewear, undergarments, all the things that they need. When they leave, they don't pay, and they don't take their dress home until it's perfect.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Final thought? Heirloom recreations. How do you do that?
So this is a new thing that's been happening, and it's so fun. So a bride will bring in their mother's or their grandmother's dress, and I've even worked on one client that brought in her great-grandmother's dress, and it might not fit, and they might not like how it looks, but we make it fit, and I will make sure that however they want it to look, whether they're keeping the integrity of the dress or they want to completely redesign it, I make sure that they leave with something that is truly their own, whatever they want.
I thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
and
me.
congratulations for taking a challenging situation and
Thank
turning
you.
it out to be a wonderful business for yourself.
Absolutely.
Way to go, Cynthia.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay tuned for more. We're living it up, all about weddings. Joining us now are Diane, Sean, and Ashley, and they are with Lavender Events. Sean, what was the beginning of Lavender Events?
Well, actually, in 2022, Diane and I did a engagement party together,
Okay.
and we just worked really well together. So I approached Diane. I said, "How would you feel about us doing this permanently together as partners?" And in 2023, we formed Lavender Events, and in 2024, Ashley joined in, and she just loved what we stood for and our mission and all of that.
Wonderful. I love events. I love going to them. I love planning them. I think when my mom would have a party, it was always over the top. Like, she would do crazy things. Like, she would put the wine in like a barrel and put like fake grapes over it. Like, she was always like doing some fun things that would make memorable opportunities for people that came to our house, right? No matter what it was. Or she would take, there was this Tupperware ball, and you would open up this Tupperware ball and it had shapes, and she would make like little sandwiches that were in the shape of stars. And so I grew up in a household where everything was celebrated. So what made you decide to call it Lavender? I know that lavender has a special meaning, Diane.
Right. So when we talked about what our mission was, we wanted people to always feel calm, which that's what the color lavender does. The plant, actually, lavender, calms people down. It was very important for us to be inclusive.
Okay.
We feel that everybody has the right to celebrate, love who they want to love, celebrate what they want to celebrate, and that's how we chose lavender.
Perfect. So you're able to, as the marketing person, Ashley, that's one of you each have different contributions, but you all like work together as
Yes.
a team. When you decided to start marketing this, what were your thoughts behind it? What is it about the events that made it so spectacular?
Well, I think when I first met Sean and Diane, I kind of just almost fell in love with both of them. It
Okay.
was we just got along so well. And I was like, wow, I would really love to join a team of such strong, ambitious women. And I'm also a strong, ambitious woman, so I was like, would be perfect for me. And I am pretty well knowledgeable in the social media aspect, like Instagram and stuff like that, so I thought I'd be a great addition to this.
Great. Now, you have a memorable wedding that you guys all put together, right? For Miss Amanda.
Yes.
So what was that, Sean? What made that so
So-
spectacular for you?
We set up, it must have been 130 hurricane
Hurricanes
candles.
with candles that had to be lit also.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was just a lot of work, but it wound up being the best thing in the world, because the second that she came in, she just started crying, and she just loved it so much, and it kind of solidified what we wanted to do, which just to make people happy, and that's just what we, why we did what we're doing now.
It's interesting because you kind of base it upon three distinctions. One is that you form a personal bond with them.
Yeah.
You're not just their event planner, you actually become their friend, which I thought was lovely. You help them with peace of mind, right? Which also goes along with the whole lavender theme. And it's just helping them bring that vision forward. So if somebody wants that type of event, you take a personal intake on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's lovely to have you all three here. We are doing this big wedding special, and so we wanted to reach out to you to have you on. So thank you for
Thank you.
Thank you for being
Thank you for
here.
having us.
And we're seeing beautiful imagery of the past events that you've had. So it looks wonderful. It seems like it's a very chill kind of vibe at these places. So
Yeah.
I love that you were able to do that for your clients.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's nice to meet you all.
You too.
So thank you, Diane, and thank you, Sean, and thank you, Ashley. Lavender Events. I love the smell of lavender, by the way.
Oh, we
do
do
as
too.
well.
Oh,
Yeah.
so wonderful. Stay tuned for more. We've been living it up right here, all about weddings. Da-dun-da-da, da-dun-da-da. I am in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. And no, I'm not getting married today, but I wish I were, because I am with Trish and we are at Country Bride and Gent. Hello.
Hello and welcome to our store.
Well, you are somewhat famous because a lot of people, when I mentioned that I was coming here, they're like, oh, I know that place. I went there when my sister got married, this, that, and the other thing. It's wonderful to actually be here. What a phenomenal store you have. I don't even know how many square feet you have, but it's a lot.
We have 7,000 square feet.
Okay.
We moved here. We actually bought this property and totally redid the entire interior. It had been an office building. And we're using every square inch of the building to make it the best possible experience for our brides today.
It's a wonderful experience. You have, coffered ceilings and beautiful chandeliers and nice accoutrements, It's like, it's really nice here. The gowns, such a beautiful selection. Different sizes, different price points, different designers, right? We were talking a little bit before about trends. What makes a trend, Trish?
A trend is when, whether it be in ready-to-wear or bridal, any of the fashion industry, is when a style or a look really becomes extremely popular and you see it throughout.
Okay.
Bridal's a little slower to adapt to trends than some of the other ready-to-wear, but you will see it happening and it transcends down.
What do you suggest when a bride is coming to look for a gown that they do before they get here? I'm sure so many people come in with little clippings, right?
Yes.
Or like their iPhone and they're showing you a million different looks, right? But is there like a preparation that you want them to go through before they actually come in that makes it a little easier for them?
It is helpful if they can send us, when they book their appointments, if they can send us a list of styles or designers that they like.
Okay.
What their budget is. We always like to be mindful of their budget and what looks they really think they're leaning towards. Once we get them in, sometimes it goes totally opposite. They want something totally different than what. But that's what our stylists are here for. They work with the dresses day in and day out, and they get to see it on all different shapes, sizes, figure types, all different venues. So it's perfect. You have to allow your stylist a little bit of leeway.
Okay. Where I live currently, even though the show is in 25 countries and we're seeing coast to coast across the United States, where I'm currently living, it seems like people are buying more than one dress. Is that happening here in this shop too?
It is happening.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They
What
buy
do you suggest
one
for
dress.
that?
Well, we have some brides that like to choose their formal dress for their ceremony and when they first make their entrance into the reception, and then they change into a short little dress for
Cocktail hour and dancing?
yes,
Yeah.
or to go out afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But we also have some brides that will wear a very formal dress depending on where they're being married, what their venue is, and so they may have certain restrictions due to religious beliefs, so they'll go with a dress for that, and then for the reception, they go totally opposite.
Okay. And when you're talking about the stylist, Do all dresses come with a matching veil? Or is that a completely separate
Some
thing?
dresses do come with coordinating veils.
Okay.
But the veils, the majority of the veils that we do carry will coordinate with so many different looks.
Interesting.
And the beauty of a veil is that you can change up one person can put on a totally plain dress and a cathedral veil with color and three-dimensional flowers, and it's a whole different look. Somebody else could put on a very simple look and it's very classic. So it gives you the option to sort of be your own self.
I like that. That customized look.
Yes.
It's just like, it's going to be you, just the perfect version of you.
Right.
I like that. I also, when I was walking through, I noticed a lot of things that also remind me of television shows.
Okay.
Right? So television shows sometimes also can dictate fun trends.
Absolutely.
Because they're like, wait, we have this line and you have that line. And I was like, this reminds me of this. And you're like, we carry that. That's exciting. You have somebody coming by, too, to do a very wonderful trunk show. I guess you need tickets to attend?
Well,
What is
you
that?
do need appointments to
Okay.
attend.
Okay.
It's actually Monty Dorm from the LSR collection is coming to our store on April 25th and 26th, and he will be here with actually the new 2027 designs.
Oh my goodness.
Because they are out already.
Okay.
And we'll be the first one previewing them.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I believe that the dress companies probably want to work with you because you're so established. Does that make sense to you, Trish? You know what I mean by that? Like,
It does. I have tried to build through the years long-lasting relationships with our vendors and designers. To me, it's very important, so that sometimes if we need something in a hurry, if we make that phone call, we'll get it.
that's lovely.
Or if you need to make a change on a dress, whatever it may be, it's a really nice thing to be able to work with a great group of designers.
Makes all the difference.
It really
because then you
does.
can bring that to your customers.
Yes.
Right, to the people that are coming in, that they can have that, I guess, that ability to make magic happen. I guess that's what at that point, sometimes with deadlines and things like that, it almost feels like you're making magic, right?
It's like, can we wave that magic wand?
Yes. Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. I know that you've also been working with Christine for a really long time. What does she mean to you and to the store?
Christine she's the engine behind this entire operation. She really is. It has been so much fun to watch her grow and develop. She started as a part-timer. My husband was actually in the business with me at the time, and he interviewed her. And I said, okay, I'll talk to her. And she was all of about 20 years old. And here we are, 30-some years later, and she has grown from a part-timer to the store manager. I know I can count on her. We think the same way. We understand each other. I have somebody to bounce ideas off of, as well as she'll say things to me. I think we need to do this. Okay, all right. And why do we need to do this? And she gives me her reasons, and they're very true and honest. So
It's nice.
It's a great partnership. It really is.
It's interesting too because she bought her wedding dress from you.
Yes.
When she got married. I asked her, I said, what did you buy? She goes, oh, by the way, that's coming back in, that look. When I got married for the first time, I tossed my bouquet, and what happened was it's supposed to go back,
Yes.
but it went straight up in the air, Trish. I ended up catching it. I turned around and I threw it like baseball style. So permit me to try and toss this to Christine because she'll
Okay.
be coming on the show next. Stay tuned. Let's see if I can do it. 1, wish me luck. 2, 3, make a wish. Oh, I did it this time. Stay tuned. Christine's right up next. And we're back now with Christine. Christine, what area of the store are we located in now?
This is our formal and mother's area, which, as you can see, has lots of color, lots of styles, trending from simple, a little bit more beaded, for all different looks.
Now, do people still go with the old rule of thumb that the mother of the groom picks their dress first?
Mother of the bride.
Okay, so it's the
Yes.
bride's dress, mother of the bride.
Correct.
And then they get to the groom's side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what dictates that? Just tradition?
Just tradition, being that usually the bride's family is hosting.
Okay.
So therefore, just going back and keeping within lines of making sure that the bride's mom has their initial look, and then everybody else follows.
Understood. And still, to this day, though, it's not great for anybody that's attending a wedding to wear white. That's a big no-no.
It is.
Okay.
It's a big no-no,
Okay.
unless the bride says, I would like the whole party, all guests to be wearing white, because there is so many different looks nowadays with the trends for weddings.
Interesting. Now, you brought a bride here today, Lindsay.
We
Right? Let's
did.
take a look at this.
We did.
Lindsay,
She's
welcome.
beautiful.
How are you? And Trish is helping with your train. Lindsay, this is lovely. So, Christine, what is this look about?
So what we do have is we have the sweetheart neckline with simple detailing and beads on the top, corseted boned bodice, and then you end up going down into a chantilly lace that has just a little bit of the eyelash lace on the bottom, fit and flare style. A veil that she has on is a fingertip length veil that she is wearing, and long enough train just to go ahead and manage beautiful bustle being done on the dress, and a little bit of sparkle underneath, which seems to be a big trend as well that a lot of the brides are loving.
You look lovely. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Well, thank you for inviting us here today.
Welcome.
We had
Thank
such a
you.
great time with you and Trish, and wish you continued success.
Thank you very
helping
much.
all of the people that you help. So where there's a wedding, there's a party.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And it's Country Bride and Gent.
Correct. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Christine. You're welcome. There you go. That's all you need to know. Country Bride and Gent. Wherever you are in the country, it's worth the trip to be here. With us once again is one of my favorite Esquires. It's George. But today we're going to be talking about postnups and prenups. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
So I thought it would be fun, because we're doing this wedding special, to have you as our guest, because a lot of times people, they feel like a prenup is something that's going to ruffle the feathers of their fiance, right? Tell us why it's important to have a prenup.
Well, there's nothing that ruffles feathers more than a divorce.
Okay.
Divorces are long, they can be very expensive, and they're adversarial. So what we do is, with a prenuptial agreement or even a postnuptial agreement, which we can do, we take that adversarial nature out. We can advise the clients as to what happens with equitable distribution, what happens with certain assets, such as retirement plans, pensions, 401ks. We can pretty much pre-describe exactly how it's all going to be split up, if it's split up at all.
Okay. So sometimes if you've come into a marriage and you have inherited funds from one of your parents or things like that, you can carve that out ahead of time. So that would be something that might not be split.
Right.
Correct?
So inheritances are generally separate property. However, it gets complicated. If you
Okay.
put something into a joint account, if you put something into use for a joint asset, you can kind of commingle those funds, and then it becomes a very gray area. So a prenup, and especially a postnup when it comes to inheritance, can dictate exactly what happens with those funds.
Okay. Case in point, right? I've had a prenup for my third marriage. So George, I've been married more than once, okay?
So you need my card.
Life happens. I need your card just in case I get married again, which I might, because I always laugh. I say I love diamonds and I love a good party, right? So in that case, we would come to you and we would just say, okay, this is my balance sheet. This is my fiance's balance sheet. Help us figure it out.
Correct.
Okay, cool. What is a postnup? You've
So-
already done the I do's, and then if you do an I don't after that, what happens?
So a postnuptial agreement could take assets that were either not included originally or something that was acquired during the marriage. And we can actually delineate if it's separate property. And if it's got to be separated, then we can actually come up with a plan of how it's going to be separated, who gets what asset or what share of an asset.
Got it. Have you seen many post-nups?
There are a few. A lot of times we'll do them when they're connected to an inheritance. That is usually a big one, or if there is some sort of money that someone comes into during the marriage, we'll do a post-nuptial agreement.
Got it. Thank you for joining us once again. Appreciate you.
My pleasure to be here.
Before we wrap up, what is one important thing that you want us to know about before we walk into your office? Is it to have your bank statements ready? What should we come to you with, George?
Well, the first thing would be a consultation, and we will have you fill out a document which will give us all of your financials. But just come in with the open mind of this is an insurance policy for your life.
Insurance policy for your life. Great. Where both parties can win.
Absolutely.
Love that. Thank you, George.
Thank you.
There you go. Before you march down the aisle or after you march down the aisle, call George. Joining us now is someone I've known for quite a while. His name is Mark, and we're going to be talking about transportation, especially for the wedding industry. How have you been?
Good, very good, thank you.
Yeah, me too. It's been a little while since I've been able to see you in person, so thank you for coming back on the show.
It's great to see you. It's great to reconnect with you, actually.
Yeah, so I called you and I said, Mark, I'm doing a special hour-long presentation on weddings, and you said you would be happy to come and talk to us about that.
Absolutely, because we love weddings, we love brides and grooms, and it's what we do.
Yeah, what are some of the new trends for brides and grooms, especially like with the new first look? So like, are you getting involved with like the photography where the bride opens up the door and she's making that grand entrance?
Well, we usually do what I like to do. I mean,
Okay.
not everybody could afford it, but I
Right.
love the Rolls Royce and I love the Bentley Mulsanne.
Nice.
Because what's nice about those vehicles, the bride goes with her maid of honor, and she goes to the church and that, and then she gets out, and the groom's already in the church, and they seat everybody and everything, and now the photographer goes out and a videographer, and they're like filming her getting out, and she's like the queen getting out of that car, which
Yes.
is unbelievable, one of those cars. And then afterwards, when they come out of the church and now they're married as the new bride and groom, then they go together in that car.
Lovely.
And they go to take the pictures, then they go to reception. So it's really nice.
That's nice. Very, very nice. Now you have different price points for different weddings, right? I would say you have like a 3 tiers, correct? Okay.
I would say so.
So like that Rolls Royce or that Bentley, right, would be your premier tier,
Yes.
right? But you have other town cars
But
and
it's
things
even,
like that.
but even at the premier tier, it's not
Yes.
super expensive. It's like for a wedding on that, it's $1,295. So it's not
Okay.
like breaking the bank.
Right.
And then basically going for the Bentley, it would be like $1,195. So it's really not terrible.
No, it's
but
not
it is
terrible,
more on the higher
especially when
end.
people are spending so much money now on their dresses.
Oh my, forget about it.
And not only just one dress, right? What's in now is to have multiple. Like
Of course.
you change, you dress a
Exactly.
lot. What got you started in the transportation business, Mark? Why did you decide to do it?
All right, so very interesting. When I got out of high school, I became a funeral director.
Okay.
So I was in the business of, dealing with the families and burying people. My family, I'm a 4th generation funeral director. But basically what happened was I was going to college because after I went to mortuary science school and passed my degree and got my national boards examination certificate, I told my father I was going to school. I was in my residency. I said, "Can I make some extra money? Because I know you rent out, limos all the time for funerals." I said, "If I bought a black limo, would you let me make extra money?" So my father was like, "Yeah, all right, sure, go ahead." So I wound up going with him. We found a limo that was for sale, and in 1988, I bought a black Cadillac limo. It was in 1993. It was a 1988 limo. So it was about 5 years old, but it was okay for funerals. So I started doing funerals. Then my lawyer's like, "Could you take me to the Islander game?" I'm like, "All right, why not?" So I'd drive him to the Islander game. I'd work at the funeral and then go drive at night. Then I saw this guy had all these different kind of limos, stretch Corvette, stretch Mercedes, stretch Lexus, and all this stuff. And his name was Frank DeLuca, and he was in Brooklyn. And he happened to be a funeral director as well.
Oh, he
And
had something in common.
And exactly, and he wasn't practicing as a field director. He had all these different stretch limos, okay? He was the king. Okay, and what he did in Brooklyn, having different exotic stretch limos, I wanted to do that on Long Island. So I became M&V Limousines, the ultimate in exotic luxury.
Beautiful.
Okay, so that was my saying.
That's how that happened.
And I was basically the second guy in the country to stretch an SUV. I stretched a Navigator. The first guy in the country was Frank. So I followed him.
Great.
And I became M&V Limousines, and now 32 years later, here I am.
You have a wonderful fleet, always clean, right? Very experienced drivers. I have always felt very safe when I've rented from you. I've always felt, like you said, luxury. I've always felt like a princess. I always felt like my experience was from the moment that I opened the car door, right? Or they opened it for me, but it's the moment that I got out. It's just been top of the line, right? And for me, weddings are those magical, special moments. And you want it to be as glorious as it can be, right? It's a celebration. It's for you, it's for your loved ones, it's memorable, right? Like you said, it goes into the books, right? So why not have that, you know, that transportation?
Well,
I didn't want to drive myself to the wedding, right? I'm not getting in my car and driving myself.
It's all goal.
Right.
The bride is the princess. The groom is the king. So they're supposed to feel like the king and the queen for the day. And that's our goal. We tell our drivers that we want to make them feel special. So that's what we do, because they have so much to worry about that day. The last thing they want to worry about is a problem with their transportation.
Right, how they're going to get there.
We basically put them in a position where they don't need to worry about that. We handle that.
You're going to get them to the church on time.
100%. 100%.
I love spending time with you. Thank you so much. Now, if you had to pick a color, like if you could have a color for a car that maybe is like kind of non-traditional, what color would you choose and why?
The color I'd pick is be pink.
Okay.
We used to have a pink Mini Cooper with a hot tub in it. It had Barbie dolls in the bar.
Yeah.
Okay, and had dual axle in the back and a hot tub in the back. And it was really an unbelievable car. And actually, 2011, I actually moved down to Miami for a little bit. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do some limo stuff down here. I actually brought it down to Miami. And I had a lot of fun.
Okay.
But is it for weddings? Maybe not necessarily. But
for
we
a great
did do some
bachelorette
weddings
party,
in it, though.
right?
We did do some weddings. But bachelorette parties?
Yes.
Bachelorette parties, rather. Absolutely.
Okay.
And the other color I would say is red, because I used to have a red 57 Chevy limo. Okay, and it was like a rock and roll car. It actually used to be on, I forget that, CBS FM.
Yes.
You know, the oldie station? It was
Yeah.
their official limo.
Oh yeah, Harry Harrison back in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was one of their official limos, and that
How
car was really
exciting.
cool.
There you go.
But now what's gotten really popular, to be honest with you, is the Mercedes Sprinter vans, and we have a number of them.
Okay.
They're set up inside for up to 18 passengers, the way we set them up. And actually, we got into building them ourselves as well. I have my own builders that built them really special for us.
Wonderful.
Okay, and they're really special. And what's nice about them, you can stand up, you can walk around. For shuttling, they're really good. We have shuttle style or limo style. Because the mid-sized limos, like 12 to 14, 50 passengers, we really don't do anymore. We do have the Escalades, which are really nice. They're like 20 passengers, and they're really sturdy and strong and good vehicles and safe. But we have small limos also, like the 6-passenger limos. But the mid-size now, we do the Mercedes Sprinters, and people really love that.
That's the way to go.
And the other thing that's really popular for weddings right now is coach buses. We use coach buses to take the guests from the hall back to the hotel to the hall, and nobody has to drink and drive.
I
and
love
it just
that.
keeps everybody safe and everybody has a good time.
I
You
love
know?
that. So like one-stop solution, right?
Exactly.
They could come to you and figure it all out.
We could do it all.
You customize something for them.
If it's on the ground, we could do it.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you again, Mark. There you go. Go there in style. How exciting is that? So if you're someone anywhere in the country or even internationally and you're watching this, Mark also has really good connections from coast to coast. So give them a call. Thanks for watching. Joining us now is Alyssa, and as you can see, we are surrounded by beautiful flowers. The name of her company is Black Eyed Susans. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Now, were you always a fan of a Black Eyed Susan? They almost look like a little mini sunflower in a way.
They do,
Okay.
and I love seeing them, at least in New Jersey, on the sides of highways. Like, they grow so wild. So was always a fan. I loved the sunflowers, but I actually purchased the shop from a woman named Susan who was retiring, and it was already called that, and I just loved the name, so it worked out
it's
great.
adorable. It's a great name for a florist. How long have you had the flower shop?
I've had it under my ownership for just over 2 years now, and it has been quite a fun 2 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so
now,
much.
you're part of our very special wedding segment, so we're excited to feature you. Tell us about your process for weddings when you're bringing in a couple, because often when I was reading about you, it says that you like like to bring a lot of fun and a lot of personality to the flowers.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite things of the whole part of the business. I love connecting with brides and really getting to know them. So I love to invite them in person, especially in this virtual world, I feel like really makes a big difference, you know, being in person here with you. And I love to get a really good idea of like exactly what their vision is. You know, with Pinterest, a lot of them come with Pinterest boards and ideas, or some of them are a little bit intimidated by flowers. So they have an idea of like, I'd like fall colors, I want a rust color, like what can you do to kind of bring that to life through flowers? So really have a lot of fun both discussing that with them, and we do samples kind of in person with them. So we'll show them, here's an idea. We have a bridal bouquet here. Here's an idea of what we would propose that would bring your vision to life. And we can workshop it together with them. So I want it to be like a fun, low stress and non-intimidating process to really work together to bring their vision to life.
So when you're workshopping it, do you let them take the bouquet home? Almost like when you do a cake tasting?
Yes, absolutely. We send them home with what we call a sample of the sample. So we show them the big bouquet, and we bring them at least one piece of the bouquet, one piece of each flower home with them so they can remember kind of where they landed in the sample.
What's one of the most exquisite or unique things that you've been able to put together? Something that you're personally proud of?
I love tropicals of all kinds. As you can see here on the table, we have some anthurium,
so pretty.
We have some bells of Ireland, and doing that in structural pieces, whether it's on an arch or, you know, in a big kind of flower wall. Love doing pieces like that with flowers that you may not see, you know, on the day-to-day. It's kind of the most fun, where people are like, what's that? I've never seen that before. So, yeah.
Something I don't think I've shared in the 18 years I've had the show is that I actually took a floral arranging class.
Oh, wow.
And I learned all about like the north, south, east, and west. And how, you know, how to put something like that together. How you're supposed to have like the one main floral piece, like in the front of this. What is this flower right here? Do you see it from where you are?
Yes.
So pretty. So pretty. But like you have these like featured elements, and then you just kind of like work the elements around it. And what about this piece that looks almost like spearmint?
I know, isn't that cool? That's called a bell of Ireland. It really has a life of its own. It comes in all curvy and crazy.
And it just expresses itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it's all said and done, right? Are you more likely to turn your flowers upside down and try to dry them? Do you ever are you like sentimental? I'm so overly sentimental.
I hate to see a flower go in the trash. Yes, yes. But it almost gets to the point where it's like, okay, our workshop is now covered in upside down flowers. It's getting a little crazy. We have to pick and choose.
A good first step, is it to come with you with a budget, or do you help give them tiers? Do you say, you know, how many attendants are in your wedding? How many people are attending your wedding? Like, how do you know how much to spend on flowers?
Yeah, that can be really difficult because there's so many different places that you can get flowers with so many different budgets, and different flowers cost different prices, right? So it's difficult. So what I recommend is, I love when talking to brides to kind of shoot for the stars. Let's forget about money for a second and just imagine what your day could be like if you could have everything. And then I present them with like a menu of options. Because when you're planning a wedding, I'm planning one myself, which is so exciting.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you a 2027 bride? When are you getting married?
2027.
2027 bride. Okay, great.
Yeah, so I have some time, but it's a lot of numbers being thrown around and a lot of little pieces that you may not expect that you need to budget for. So what we like to do is kind of give our brides like a menu of options. So here are the basics. You likely need a bridal bouquet unless you're doing something else. So let's put that in the need to haves. But in addition to that, let's think about, should we do, you know, for our rustic brides, we have barrels we rent that we do large structural pieces on that. Let's just see what that costs, and maybe it will end up fitting into the budget.
When you're thinking of flowers, you can also think of them as your decor element. Like you said, there's the must-to-haves, there's nice-to-haves, but like that seamless integration of your theme, I think that would be wonderful to have a barrel with some rustic flowers, you know, with cowgirl boots on underneath my dress. So it was lovely to visit with you, Alyssa. Congratulations. Thank you for all that you do, and may all your wishes come true. Are you doing your own flowers, Alyssa? Are you going to have your team help you?
My wonderful team is going to do them, so I'm going to be hands-off. I trust them immensely.
Just design what you want and let them do it. Thanks for being here today. There you go, flowers. I wish you could really smell how delicious these smell. It's so fresh and so invigorating. It just makes you smile. Be well. Joining us now is Giselle. We're going to be talking about photography, in particular, wedding photography. So you are an upcoming bride. Okay. What is it about wedding photography that just speaks to your heart? Why do you love documenting those special moments?
I feel like no matter what, I want to make sure that my couples remember even the little moments.
Okay.
And when you think of wedding photography, you think of the couples like holding their bouquet or going down the aisle. But what's important to me is I want you to see me capture your grandma holding like your dad's back and they're crying, or your best friends are crying when you're walking down the aisle, or people meeting each other for the first time. So what's important is like the documentary part of it is like nothing's forced, nothing is ever posed, and it's not for anyone but you. And it's all authentic.
Now, do you do some posed as well as candids, or mostly candids?
So everything is mostly prompted. I don't ever say pose. So you're in movement, but I'm capturing every part of it. And, you know, the beginning part of the day when you're doing your portraits or your first look, of course, those are going to be like prompted. But from there on, like the ceremony to the cocktail hour to the reception, I try to say to my clients, like, I want to feel like a breeze. Like, you can feel me, but you can't see me.
Perfect.
And so, like, I'm there, but not really. Like, don't ever feel like you have to pose for the camera. So that's like my go-to way of saying, like, that's why I'm a documentary photographer, because I never want to feel like anything's too forced.
You're almost like a guest.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah,
Or do you feel
exactly.
do you feel like you're a guest at somebody's wedding?
Well, yeah.
And you're just like, oh, well, here's Aunt Mary, right? And here's Cousin Dawn.
Right. I want to be personable too, which is why, like, when I'm on the calls with my clients, like, I don't want that to be the only time you talk to me. Like, engagement sessions are important, or I can meet you at your bridal shower, so that the first day you meet me and I'm shooting you, that's not like unfamiliar and you're comfortable with me. And that's like the most important thing. Like, you're only ever going to feel super comfortable in a camera if you're comfortable with the people around you. Like, I feel comfortable right now, so.
I'm glad you feel comfortable here. I always feel like I want to welcome people into my home, as if this is just an extension of our home, right? And we always say that from the moment you walk through the threshold, we hope that you feel comfortable here, that it's fun, that you leave with a lasting memory. Yeah, not scary.
Exactly.
So I agree with you. I think that a picture can speak 1,000 words. It truly can. I like knowing that your lens is the view for someone, that they can then reminisce. Because sometimes a wedding, you're so in it that you don't get a chance to like really be present. But it's like your photography is capturing the essence of it.
Right. Like, I want you to feel like when you see it, you feel it. Like you're back. You got time traveled back. So
lovely.
Yeah.
Now, you started, was it 8th grade that you got your first camera? Are you still shooting with the same brand?
Oh my gosh, no, I don't shoot Nikon.
Okay.
That was my first gift I bought for myself with my babysitting money, and I bought a camera because I always wanted to capture things. I didn't have a phone, so I bought it. I brought it to my 8th grade party, and it feels like a reception. Like, there's like all of us, all the boys had like ties around their head, and I literally look back and like, I still have this. That was 2011, so yeah, like, I always loved capturing the moment. People are like, why do you always have to take a photo? I'm like, you're going to forget this. Like, let me be the person to remind you what happened. You know what I mean? I have like 70,000 photos on my phone, but...
Wait, what did you say? You have 70,000 photos on your phone?
Yeah, get that terabyte into your
I was just going to say, you must have the one that's got a lot of storage. We have a lot, well, because we're in this industry with you know, photos and imagery and things like that too. Yeah, storage is our best friend.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
How long is the turnaround then, because of the way that you're shooting with the candids and everything?
Yeah.
If somebody engages with you, how long before they're able to see some finished product? And do you actually do any prints where they could have an album afterwards, or is it only digital?
So I haven't offered prints yet, but my turnaround time is about 4 to 6 weeks, because I try not to take on so many clients during the year, because I also have a full-time job, and I want to make sure that I'm being intentional with their photos. I know, like, if I were to take on a lot of jobs, I'm going to feel very rushed, and then I might include an edit I didn't like. But usually I try to go within the 4 to 6 week time frame. Like, we live in a time of instant gratification. I'm sure you want those photos. So I send over your sneak peeks within 24 to 72 2 hours, and then that should be enough to hold you over until
you get a chance to
get the full
finesse
gallery.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're an artist, really.
Yeah.
And it's just that the camera is your medium.
Exactly.
That's what you're using.
Like we do it's all the science behind it, right? Like I always say, everyone can take photos, but it's like the editing, the composition, and like the storytelling that you do in the post is like important too.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I know
you.
that you also are a bride, so you're getting married in 2027?
Yeah, June of next year.
Have a beautiful and blessed
you.
experience. Who's going to be taking your pictures?
We are flying someone in from California.
Okay,
and
good.
it was a long process, trust me, because coming from a photographer, I think we spoke to like 10 photographers, but I wanted someone that was also a documentary photographer and knew how to like get the in-between moments. So
I love that. I love that you're not just going to have like a helmet with like your like a selfie stick on the top.
No, none of that.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you for being part of our Wedding Spectacular
Thank you for having me.
Hour of Power. We're really excited. We enjoy celebrating life, right?
course.
And weddings are certainly part of that. So thank you so much, Giselle.
Thank you.
There you go. It's Giselle David. We've been visiting here today, and we hope that you enjoyed this Wedding Spectacular special that we've been putting on because, like I said, celebration of life matters to us, and we know it matters to you. Be well.
This is Donna Drake. Happy journeys!
Take my hand, come with me, and we'll find better ways to be something much more. Live it up, live it up, live it up now. Live it up now.
Thanks for watching Live It Up. You can visit us at liveituptvshow.com.